Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed, and today I thought I would bring in and show you some fun shoes I made. These are from my daughter. They're just upcycling a pair of flip-flops. They're actually my son's, and she was like, I don't want those. I was like, well, if I bling them up, and now I bling them up, and she is ecstatic about them. So what I've done is I've taken some mesh, some of this flour, and then this little other flour, this little piece, and they're all super lightweight. It's actually all made of plastic, and I just glued it to the flip-flops. I mean, how adorable is that? If you want to check out this video, it is up on Expo International, so head on over and click up in the iCard so you can find where that is. They're so stinking cute. I love them. And as I was making them, I thought, well, how adorable would it to be, or how cool it is. The flowers, the white flowers, are actually on this mesh, and there are these flowers that come on this trim from Expo International. And I still have a ton of stuff. It's like plastic, basically. Still have a ton of these. Why don't I make some flowers? Because they would look super cute. But flowers for card making and stuff. So all I am doing is I'm taking and I'm trimming off the mesh. And these are what's left over. I actually cut a bunch because I wasn't sure. I had to practice the flowers, all that stuff. So it's on like a little piece of tulle. So I'm just kind of trimming up the tulle real fast. I'm going to take you through just doing one of each, and they're so easy. And on each one of these flowers, sorry if you hear a bunch of noise in the background. My kids are in the garage with the dad and building. There's actually 5 what I would call petals. There's one each surrounding, and there's one in the middle. What I like to do, and what I did with these guys, I took the one in the middle, I flattened it out, which I gotta actually cut. What I'm doing is I'm cutting this little piece right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut 2. So see how easy that is to cut? There's a thread holding it all together, and so basically just cut that. You open up the flower on the insides. Like I said, you take that center petal, you flare it out, and I'm taking my super tight adhesive fabric tack glue. And there's a coupon code down below if you'd like to get yourself some of this glue. It's so fun. And I'm just taking a little dab right there, and then placing my gem right there in the middle. Just holding it for a couple seconds. So I just kind of held it down for a few seconds. It's almost there. It's going to get puffed up. So if you want to make sure that it's nice and solid, what I like to do is I will come in with something heavy. So I mean, I just grab my little like a punch or something just to kind of hold it down. And I'm going to continue making a few of these fun flowers. And this glue will dry clear, which is fantastic. Again, link down below where you can get a coupon code for 10% off your order. It is a super inexpensive glue already, and it has a great hold. It takes a little while to kind of set up, but once it sets, it's awesome. So I pulled out some papers. I actually pulled out a paper pad, and I'm kind of playing. My flowers are resting underneath here right now. Again, sorry about the noise. Somebody's banging something in the garage. There's woodworking happening right now. This is a really old paper pad that I have. It's called the Archivist. I believe it's a Frank Garcia paper pad, and it's got some really pretty, beautiful colors on here. And I thought it would pair nicely with the elegant flowers that I have. So I'm just going with the neutral color. So I cut down, and I have an A2 size card. All supplies are going to be listed down below, by the way. And we're going to do a vertical card. Cut the paper down to size, and now I've taken another sheet, and I'm using, again, the back side, but what I've done is on this pair sheet, I'm just using the inside. I love that kind of rustic, just kind of color to it. So I am going to create 2 borders, but these are a little bit too big. I'm going to cut them down just a little bit more. My paper trimmer is starting to go to crap. That's okay. So I'm going to have 2 borders. I think these are just a little too wide. I got to trim them. I think 3/4 of an inch. I just want strips. And maybe having 2 different, no, I want them the same width. I like the width of this one, how wide. This is where I do a lot of humming and hawing over cards. So it's actually a 1/2 inch, so I gotta trim this guy down. There we go. That's better. And I like to misalign them. I'm actually going to be inking these. I just got to go grab my ink here in a minute, but I'm just kind of getting the basis for how I want to lay my card. I would tell my husband to stop whatever he's doing in the garage. But he's been gone for 3 weeks, and that is his thing to do. That's what he loves, is woodworking, and he hasn't been able to play in his garage in a while. So, you know, I get to do my thing, and he loves to do his thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is a beautiful swirl from Prima. I'm kind of pulling out all my Prima stuff, and I have so many of these crystals. I mean, I love them, just don't use them enough. And I want to have a swirl come up, but it's too wide. So I'm going to cut right through here. I do this a ton. I do like I create my own. And there's nothing to say that you have to use swirl exactly as it's been given to you. Just couldn't get my bigger scissors in there, so I gotta get my smaller ones. So again, I'm just laying my card out. This is how I do it before I actually etch it down and nail it down before I glue it all down, I should say. So I want to have one swirl just like that. And I think I'm going to use the black flower. And it really, truly, you're just going to see hints of it. You're not going to see a ton of the swirls. Maybe I'll have a little bit more. This little piece right here is just not going to work. It doesn't fit. This is a smaller card, so you're not going to see as much. You don't need as much on here because of that. I want the flower to be right smack in the middle. And let's see if we can get a little swirl. I'm thinking I can probably use this one with the lace on it, because I think that's so pretty. I love that, just that little lace bit. Come in and cut the little piece right here. This is the downside to not glue anything down, is that you get a little bit of things pulling up on you and you don't need them to be. So just a hint of something, and then lay my flower. Look how pretty it is with that gem on there now. Not quite doing it for me yet. Yeah, actually that kind of works. Now I just need to grunge it up. So I know I made a ton of flowers, but now I have all these beautiful flowers I can put off. I could make more of this card. There's so many things, but I want to stress it up now. Happy accident, my paper trimmer on my paper is not doing a very good job. It's really, really kind of crap right now. And heads up, this paper that you see in the background is actually the back side. It's going to give us an idea of an old calendar, and I'm going to do it until it gets really kind of gunked up, and then I'll replace it. But it really does give me a nice kind of basis. Instead of buying those sheets, I'm just using the back sides of old calendars. Yay! All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my scissors and really rough up the edges here. Really rough up the edges. I also want to come in and I'm going to really V this out, because this is a corner that's not going to see it. It's an old trick I used to do, something like that. Really glam it up. Free up these edges. This paper is really sturdy, so it's very easy to do this. You just rough. You get a lot of little paper pills that come out, but that's okay. This is another technique that I like to do, is I'm just going to lightly mist. Well, my kids are playing with my misting bottle, so it's gotten a little bit funny. I'm going to have to get a new one. I'm just getting a little bit wet. Usually it works a ton better, but they messed my bottle up, so I got to come up with a new bottle now. I've had that one for a while. It's getting kind of gross. So here, just tattering up my paper. Now I'm going to come in with my 2 strips and also my paper and ink it and hit some of those edges, catch those edges with it to make it look like it's a background paper, because it was so plain, which is fine, but I don't want it to be that plain on my card. So hit those edges, plug it in there. It's all gonna get flattened back out, but it's gonna have some kind of character as it's sitting on the page. And we're gonna do something kind of fun in this little divot we've created. Because when I trimmed everything off, there was some mesh. So I thought I would poke a little bit of mesh back there. Look how pretty that looks. So we're going to put that in there as well. It was from the back of the flowers when we first trimmed them off. And then I've got some little bitty rhinestones here that were left over that I used for the sides of the shoe. So I didn't throw them away, and I think I'm going to try, instead of trying to use another one of the centers, the flowers, I've got these little guys. I thought I would figure out some way to stick them in there. So just inking, keeping some of those frayed edges, really rough job of getting the ink on there, which means my hands are getting inky. And this is the kind of card that if I make splotches, I get ink blots on there. If I get it messy, nobody cares. It's part of the look of it all. So there's that. Now, because I have, and then I have my card base. So what I'm going to do with my card base is I am going to ink the edges. It's just an A2 size card. This is actually a Niha white card, really ink. That is from scrapbook.com. They have them. I love that. I've been using that brand. I bought it through a different online source. But these are already cut and they already have a little bit of a score mark on the inside, so it makes the card making so simple. All right. For this, I'm switching gears, and now I'm switching to a super tight glue. This is an all-purpose universal glue. Again, the link will be down below where you can find both the glue for the universal glue and also for the Fabri-Tac adhesive that we were using earlier, or the fabric adhesive we were using earlier. One of the things I love about these glues, and I've pulled my little glue jar out, is that they tend to have a lot less chemicals, and they are made with less chemicals than some of your other glues that are out there, which I think is fabulous. So it's just one less thing. My hands get all over my crafts, and I love the fact that these glues have just less stuff in them. That's great. And the hold is fantastic, and it's cheaper than a lot of the other glues that are out there, which is so good. So I'm just taking a little bit of that mesh, and I'm tucking it under to make it look like there's another layer. It's just kind of hiding it in there, and then tacking it all down, flaring this out. And to make sure this sticks, a little bit of that glue on either side, just to make sure it sticks. Oh, the rain has just hit. My kids are outside, and I hear them screaming, going, "Oh my God, I gotta come inside!" Either that or they're playing in the rain and they're excited about it. It hasn't rained in forever. There it is. It's raining. Can you tell? It's raining. Oh, now that excitement is it hasn't rained here in a good 2 to 3 weeks. It's bad. We need the rain. I'm looking for all my, there they are. I had all these little pieces that I had cut out, and it is really, really, really bad here. Okay, so I have these little gems, and I thought I would just use them, and I'm going to line them up kind of like into the V. So I might have to flare my little V out a bit more. Just come in. I've got a singleton I can throw in here. And then just line it, and I'll probably have to slice that in half. It's like mass chaos in my house today, but it's one of those things that everybody's kind of doing their own thing right now. Nobody wants to, they're outside playing in the rain, they're having a blast, and I want to sit in here and craft. That's what I do. And I got this bug in my ear to get this done. Partly I needed to get a project done for a company, and then I saw the fact that I was making these pretty flowers, and I was like, oh, I have to make a card to go with that. So nobody wants mom hanging around while they're playing, doing stuff right now anyway. There's moments where my kids are like, Mom, you gotta be with me. And then there's moments where they're like, Mom, go away. It depends. Oh, there's not enough glue there. Look how pretty that looks. It's that little elegance touch in the corner. So gorgeous. And I'm going a very black and white gray feel for this card, but you could definitely switch gears because I'm using the black flower. You could really kind of go with any colors you want. You could do the white one. I was thinking with going like a pink and white look, but then I was just in the black and white mood, which would mean that this card could definitely go for like a wedding feel. All right, because I've added water and I've got lots of stuff happening and lots of different layers, I'm going to be using my liquid glue to glue everything down, because I really want to make sure it's good hold. Butt this up in the corner over here. And I don't like them too matchy-matchy, so that's why I have one high, one low. So we got them kind of off-centered here. Just like that. There you go. And now I had, these are the two pieces. This is left over. So sometimes what I will do, especially for like this little piece right here, this little piece, this little swirl, I will have like a little jar or a little bucket kind of off the side of little random stuff, kind of like I used up the rest of this for here, of just stuff that's sitting off the edge of my desk that, you know, maybe I'll pull that onto a project. You know, I've got ATCs, I've got kind of mulling in my head about what I want to do with that. And so maybe I will pull and add a couple of these fun things on an ATC in the future. So just, you know, if it's there, I tend to use it. All right, so there's that. Now I got to find the center. So here's the mesh. You probably can't see that very well. Big old blob. I'm kind of centering it right in the middle. Nice big old blob of glue. And then just Stick my flower right there in the center. Maybe go a little low since I added this little piece right there, and then that is it. No sentiment, no nothing, no. There's lots of frills, but lots of layers, but it's not too hard. It's lots of just pretty layers on top. This is probably the most meticulous thing, and then making your flower. And that is it. It's pretty easy, right? So thanks so much for stopping by. Don't forget, links are going to be down below. If you want to see how to make these cool, same flower, but in a different concept, and same similar materials too, with the exception of putting on a card, they're on shoes. And you could go get yourself some shoes from the dollar store and glam them up as well. My daughter's dying to put these on, let me tell you. So thanks so much. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys again later. Bye-bye.